Welcome back. MGM City Center has reached two milestones, one on one of its buildings, the other on its balance sheet. The resort's construction budget reached $9.2 billion. That's according to an SEC filing. That's up from its previously estimated $8 billion budget. MGM blames rising construction costs. The news comes the same week City Center topped off its Vidara Hotel Condo. City Center is expected to open in 2009. Commercial developers often turn to hard money lenders to finance their projects. Hard money lenders usually charge more and loan less money than conventional lenders. Hard money borrowers like Focus Properties' John Ritter are defaulting on hundreds of millions of dollars in loans. Declining property values have hard money lenders trying to appease their investors while at the same time attempting to preserve the value of the collateral. Joining me right now is the Commissioner of Nevada's Mortgage Lending Division, Joe Waltut, and we're also joined by former Assemblyman David Goldwater, who runs the mortgage investment firm of Goldwater Capital Nevada. Mr. Goldwater is also a member of the state's Advisory Council on Mortgage Investments and Mortgage Lending. To both of you, great to have you on the program. Thanks for coming here. Dave, let me talk to you first of all, because you're a hard money lender. I mean, hard money lenders essentially are between really a rock and a hard place right now, given this economy, I would take it.
It's tough. It's a global credit crisis, of course, and it's filtering down to the local level. And we're having a hard time balancing. The primary thing we want to do is protect the investors' money and make sure we do secure that collateral.
Well, when you run into a project that's having a problem, I mean, do you have to foreclose, or do you have some leeway there?
There are some things we can do to work with the borrowers, but generally our loan documents state what's supposed to happen when loans are in default, and the better hard money lenders live by those documents. Now, if there's some way out, the majority of investors can petition us to act on their behalf that may yield a better outcome.
Well, you know, you're one of the people involved with John Ritter and Focus Property Group and that type of thing. I wanted to read something. This is in the RJ. Here's what the RJ wrote about Ritter's attempts to work out his defaults. Quote, David Goldwater, president of Goldwater Capital Nevada, complimented Ritter for seeking to resolve problem loans while some borrowers will not work with you and simply walk away. Goldwater Capital is one of numerous private lenders which brokered loans for Focus Property. Two sources who asked to remain anonymous suggest that Ritter's proposal is not a good deal and the lenders should foreclose. With all of your investors, I mean, how many investors have to sign off on you allowing, you know, a borrower to work something out?
The Commissioner's Office has advised us through their own regulatory process that 51% of the people in the loan can have the say on what's going to happen with the future of those loans. And like I said in that quote, some borrowers, many borrowers, just walk away and give you the asset back, and some are willing to sit down and work with you and come up with a plan.
Commissioner Waltut, are you getting a lot of complaints right now from people who want their money back in these things?
Well, we have a lot of complaints, and when I say a lot, probably about 30 against hard money lenders in general. No one specific one that I can mention, obviously. And the complaints range anywhere from individuals saying that, you know, I've invested my entire life savings, my retirement savings, I'm elderly, can you get my money back for me? To other investors who say that the loan servicer or the broker involved in the transaction is not acting in my best interest or pursuant to the terms of the contract I have with them. So we do have a number of complaints.
Yeah, I don't have to tell both of you, but Nevada over the past 10 years has seen some spectacular failures of hard money lenders. Does this industry need tougher regulation, Commissioner?
I would say yes, to a limited extent. We have substantial laws on the books right now, but I would think that one new law in particular and maybe a couple new regulations would go a long way to resolve this.
Such as which ones?
Well, as far as a proposed law would go, if I had my druthers, for lack of a better term, I would like to see a limitation on the amount of money that the actual broker, the hard money lender itself, can invest in the project in which he's representing the investors on the other hand, because sometimes that could create a conflict of interest.
Right. Jeff, it's also important to note that the state has done tremendous regulatory overhaul over the years, and in this crisis, it's so much better than it might have been having good solid statutes, good regulations, a very good regulatory oversight. I think that allowed some of the brokers to stay in business, A lot of the disclosures are there. So the fundamentals exist for brokers to be able to work with investors, work with borrowers to try and unwind some of these problems, and that wouldn't have happened in the past for sure.
Tough times for this industry, obviously. David Goldwater, Joe Walton, appreciate your time today. Thank you, Jeff. When in business returns, when Las Vegas tells Sir Charles to pay up, but is he alone? See why that casino debt could land you in court. Plus, will trips down the aisle in California mean fewer trips to Las Vegas for a gay couple?
You're watching In Business Las Vegas with Jeff Gillen, a program presented in partnership with the Las Vegas Sun, Cox Communications, and KLAS TV.